Hello, everybody. Because oh, I am sharing the wrong screen. Sorry, I should be using a different one. Hey, cool. So, nice to meet you all again. I mean, yesterday I was supposed to do a live stream at 6, but I thought I was gonna do it at 8, so I kind of missed the time and apologize for anyone that was waiting for it. And we're a couple minutes early. So, for those who's never been in one of our live streams, Momen is a no-code full stack web app development platform, and we do have integrated AI agent builder. And recently, we have introduced Gemini integration. So the thing with Gemini is that it's like the only commercially viable, according to my knowledge, commercially viable large language model that handles video analysis well. So that opens up a lot of possibilities. And in this live stream, we're basically going to talk about that. Um, and in case you guys ever wonder where to find information about Momen or you know get subscribed, I do irregularly do live streams. Like I think I do one like every couple of weeks, and we also have showcases, tutorials, and even full-fledged courses that we'll post here. And if you want to find out more about Momen, of course, you can go to the docs. Where are we? Momen.app, docs. So you can go there, check it out. Also, there's forum. You can also go onto the forum and check those out as well. And yeah, apparently I have 2 messages that I haven't been looking at. I'll look at those later. We do have a Discord channel, which you can also join. So those are the ways to keep in touch. But, subscribe if you're interested. Okay, on to Gemini. So Gemini 2.5 is, I mean, it's gaining a lot of popularity, and I can understand why, because I've been using it and I was very impressed by both its coding capabilities and reasoning capabilities. But out of all those, the ability to analyze video and turn videos into text, doing question answering on it, and then even like combining videos and images and text in one go and actually analyze stuff with that's very impressive, and it opens up a lot of application possibilities, and then I'll discuss those. So, and Momen has introduced the integration with Gemini quite recently. We already have we had like an older version of 2.5 Pro, and just I think a few days ago, we also have integrated Gemini 2.5 Flash. All of them have a conversion rate, so you can directly buy AI points on Momen and use Gemini. And if you would like to add your own model, I'm not sure if we had that yet. Yeah, we don't have that. We don't have bring your own model for Gemini yet, but that will be added sooner rather than later. And since we have that integration, today I'm going to showcase 2 things. One is a question answering page, and the other one is going to be like almost like a documentation generation page. So let's take a look at of what we actually built. Now, this particular one is a multi-model QA. So when I click on here, what really it invokes is It goes into a conversation, oh, that's the wrong page, sorry. This is the one we're looking at, right? And it will open up a multimodal QA agent, and it's going to take the image, take the video, get my preferences, and get the questions. Okay, so what does it do? In fact, it's quite simple. We would, in the goals, we'll say according to my preference, answer those questions. Obviously, if I don't enter preferences, and if I probably just should update it here, we'll call it has pref and no pref. Okay, so no pref, I just wrote none. Or maybe I just put that, make it more obvious. And the top one, it's just gonna put the actual verbatim preferences. And the condition here is that you actually wrote anything, right? So that'll be string length on the preferences. So let's try it out. I am going to I'm gonna put in, I don't know, just some videos of me in Africa. It's basically like in a safari, and then there's a bunch of animals. So let's see. Let's ask AI some questions. How many people with cameras are in the video? Be very, very concise. Okay, so we'll do that and we'll see what happens. We can take a look at what the AI actually ran, which is just going to be here. You can see that is in progress. And what we did was we sent a single message with 2 pieces of content. One is obviously our the prompt. The other one is the video. Okay, so let's see. It says 2 people, which is correct, right? So that is exactly what we expect. But so let's take a look at how this thing is actually built in terms of, let's run a couple of debug sessions, right? So to really make sure that we do understand, so we upload a video of our Safari small, and I will leave the image empty. We will demonstrate one that combines image analysis as well as video analysis. Preference, I just enter nothing in this case. And the question is, what animals are there? Okay, so once we click, we'll see that we got, well, that's pretty quick. African buffalo. That's very smart. And the one we're using here is a Gemini 2.5 Flash. It's very cheap, in fact. For an entire hour, I think of analysis, the cost is going to be somewhere around like 20 cents. And this is what the prompt actually came out to be. This is verbatim. It's just a literal of an analyzer of images and videos. The goals according to the preference, none. Answer the question, what animals are there? Okay, so let's try something fancier. And I think what I have here is a piece of markdown text. So what we can do is we're gonna change the AI so for it to output some markdown. Let's output in markdown. Okay, so that's cool. And what we'll do is list out all the people appearing in the video and a description for each person. This time it should, if I got it correct, yep, that is a markdown. So let's try it out here. List out of the people appearing in the video and a description for the person. I'll have no preferences this time, and we should get a formatted here you can see we have a formatted markdown that's rendered, right? But what if we don't want this thing? So that is something that's gonna be fairly interesting. We'll do that using structured output, but for now we'll try a different case. Okay, so we'll reload this page and we will analyze videos together with images. So again, a video we have Kilimanjaro small. So that is a video of me coding something for a moment on the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. And you can take a look at this, and that's just me like coding on top. It's reasonably long. It's like a minute. And I was saying something which is indiscernible. But the interesting thing here is we also have a like a picture of me speaking in a panel in Create With like a few days ago in the UK. So we'll upload this video, and to make it to make it more interesting, instead of question, we'll probably just give the AI a task. So we'll be like, write some marketing material for Momen. And look at this, right? Like, the only mention of Momen is here. That's founder of Momen. Everything else in here, I don't think I said anything about Momen, but we'll just say, we'll see what it does. Write some marketing materials for Momen based on the video and the image. Preferences. Be creative. Associate nice things with Momen. Okay, that'd be fairly straightforward. So let's run it and see what it does. It's going to take a bit longer, I think. Oh, here we go. Momen. AI for your monumental moments. Okay. Very cool. From the peak of Mount Kilimanjaro to the forefront animation, Momen empowers you to achieve the impossible. Our founder's passion for pushing boundaries code into every solution, delivering seamless, powerful intelligence that unlocks your potential effortlessly anywhere. So it's kind of cool. And what if we want this thing to be like, not just black and white? What do we want? What if we want this to pop out more? So let's be a bit fancy. Let's see, output in HTML. Do not include things like just the plain HTML. Also, the output is going to be used inside an existing HTML page. So ignore tags like HTML and body. So omit. Make it very flashy, but the styling should still reflect the content of your output. Not reflect, should still be consistent with the content of your output. Okay, so let's see what it does, right? So we're now going to output in HTML. I'm going to update the backend, and I'm going to go back here. So instead of having this piece of text, which is just going to be using Markdown, we will just, let me see what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to add an HTML component to here. Where's my HTML? Okay, I'm going to add an HTML here. I will make this 100% and 100%. Okay, so it's going to take the entirety of the thing, and we will use the answer here. All right, so let's take a look at what will happen. Same thing here. I am going to upload the Kilimanjaro small as well as the panel. And I'm going to ask it to write me a marketing materials for Momen.app. It has to resonate with non-technical founders, who are the ones we're trying to serve. Okay, preferences. Maybe I'll just put it here. Okay. And if everything goes smoothly, we should see a somewhat nice HTML rendered thing to the right. And as we're waiting for it, maybe we'll take a look at the output. Oh, it's completed. Oh, wow, look at that. With AI dot. Born from a visionary spirit, perfected at the summit of Kilimanjaro. Oh my god. Oh, that is very flash. Panel approved, peak proved, proven, founder focused. All right. Yes, Gemini, you got me. So that is one way of utilizing Gemini's ability to combine text, image, and video all in one. Now, what if we wanted to add some extra information? Because, for example, if the question here is something like, is there a guy appearing in the panel? Is the same guy appearing in the panel? Is the same guy appearing in the panel? The same guy in the video also appearing in the panel. All right. And it's going to look a bit weird because I don't know what the hell is absolutely. Okay, cool. Sure. But what if I ask something like, can a bird fly to, I don't know, fly to where Momen is built? Or actually where Momen is founded. That's not going to be as relevant. So ideally you want, well, it's now maybe like not Momen, but where maybe I shouldn't like ask these things, like how do I can't come up with a good question, but there's cases where you do want a visual cue of whether a question is answerable based on the content of that video or whatever information is provided. What else is provided? For example, the image. So I also built another page, which we call QA structured. Right? In this case, we will have a conditional view depending on whether that question is answerable. So if it's not answerable, we'll get a cross and then just the literal text not answerable. Otherwise, we get a tick and it's green, and we're gonna have a markdown. So how do we do that? First of all, let's check the conditional container. This indicator container, we'll take a look at. So the if answerable is no, it's in the initial state. If answerable is true, then we show answerable. Otherwise, we show not answerable. That's fairly simple. And answerable is just a page variable on this page. And when we click on this converter, it's going to take our inputs, put it into the structured multi-model QA agent, and set the structured multi-model QA's answerable output to answerable, and then on here is going to set the answer to answer. Okay, and how do we set that one up? Well, everything else is going to be almost the same as the previous agent, including the inputs, and mostly here, right? You're going to do something according to some requirement, and constraint is just going to be concise. And in the output, for the moment, we said you must fill this with actual answer when it's answerable, and maybe we just add something. This has to be conforming to markdown format. Okay. So the idea is that if the question is answerable, we're going to get a notification in here, and if it's not, it's going to say no. If yes, then answer is going to be filled. Also, maybe we'll add something here. If the question is not answerable based on the content of the video and the image or the image, then it not if, but like only try to answer, only try to answer the question based on the content of the video or the image. Okay, so that's cool. That's what we're gonna have. We're gonna update the backend before we try it out, and we should see something fairly interesting. And we have like a image, a video of a pharmacy. It's like a surveillance footage. We can take a look. It's fairly short. It's like 2 minutes, and you can see a bunch of people walking around, right? And that's just some security footage. Okay, so my question is gonna be completely unrelated to this. How do I add an image to a web page on Momen.app? Obviously, this is not answerable based on the content. So when we click, we probably just get not answerable. We get a big cross there. Let's wait for it. This loading screen is just a shortcut because I can't be bothered to, right? So I just turn it on. Like if you want to be fancy, you could have a loading screen that's completely custom made by, oh, that is not, oh, that's the wrong page. Sorry, I'm on the wrong page. I should go to QA structured. Upload the video, the pharmacy. How do I add an image to a web page using Momen.app? Sorry about that. I was looking at the wrong screen. Yeah, this is not answerable. Exactly. So now let's add something else. List out all the incidents of people attempting to steal. And you can see how this can be very useful in going through evidences. Security footages are really, really long, and you probably don't. Here we go. A person in a helmet enters the store and appears to conceal item in the black jacket, then drops a bag and leaves. And there's even fancy things like, you know, the timestamp. So that can be very useful. You could actually go there. So let's go to the same person returns to retrieve black bag they dropped earlier. The person in the helmet attempts to steal item from a shelf, but is confronted by a woman, drops a bag and flees the store. 151. So let's see if we go to 151. So that's somewhere around 151. So yeah, that's the guy, I think. We are looking at 154. Oh yeah, the woman. Okay, so the woman basically found the guy and is trying to get him to not do stuff. So these are useful cases. Yeah, there, and if you obviously you need humans to actually make sure the video actually shows theft before you go and accuse people of theft. But this cuts down the labor cost of trying to sift through all the security footages by a lot. Because as I said, a whole hour of this is going to only cost you like 15-20 cents. It's very cheap. Now, what if I want to display this stuff in a fancier way? Let's try the HTML trick again, right? So let's do that. We're gonna have here, we're gonna change this to the content must be a HTML, a valid HTML string. We are using this inside an existing HTML page. Therefore, omit tags like HTML and body. The styling is important. Make the styling consistent with the content itself. Okay. Let's give it a try. And we are going to, we should be able to only answer, yeah, and analyze our videos. Okay. A careful analyzer. Okay, we're gonna update backend. And it's going to take a while. And also what we need to do is for the actual text, right? We're in answerable section in the text, instead of having the text, we're gonna again put in an HTML element, make it completely taking over everything. And in here, that's the refraction that takes the rest of the container. And as for the content, it's just going to be answer. So let's try it again. This time we'll do, let's see. We have like a parking lot scene with people like just walking around. Maybe that's not interesting. Let's just do Kilimanjaro, right? And the request is going to be, are there, how do birds fly near, I don't know, near, how do birds fly in Australia? All right, we should get a no. It's just making sure that it still says no. And then we're gonna, not answerable, cool. Then what code is added on top of the mountain? Preference. Make the output suitable for marketing Momen.app. All right, so let's see. Yeah. Let's see, what did I already? This is an HTML. Let's see what it output. Structured QA. And the output, we can always see the output in the data part for every agent. It's not respecting my instruction for it to output in HTML. So let's see. Let's add it into the constraints. Okay. So we'll say when unservable, the unserved field must be a valid HTML string. We're using this inside an existing. Okay, so that's cool. And update the backend again, and we'll rerun. We'll rerun that AI query, and hopefully we'll get something that's slightly fancier. Okay, Mount Kilimanjaro small. What code is written on top of the mountain? Make answer in a way that is suitable for marketing Momen.app. Okay, cool. Let's take a look. Hopefully we'll get. Oh, damn it. Why doesn't it give me any HTML? It's not very it's not cooperating very well. I'm gonna update it here and just making sure it's actually calling the correct one. Structure multiple, yeah, that is correct. Retry it again. I probably should just copy it, right? Since we're what code is written on top of the mountain. Make sure the answer is suitable for marketing Momen.app. Okay, so the difference here is now I'm using a fancier model, right? I am using Gemini 2.5 Pro, even though it's like a slightly older version of it. And I'm just gonna copy this and put it somewhere so that I don't have to type it all the time in case it doesn't format it into HTML as I expect it to. Okay. Sure. Okay. Maybe I don't want it to be that concise. Yeah, maybe I don't want to be that concise, and also I will increase the maximum token to something like 2 to the power of 16. And I think here we have a bug. We allowed it to maximum 2 to the power of 15, which is big enough, but it is a bug. So we'll update the backend again, and then we'll try it again. This time I will have enough stuff copied so that this won't take that long. Cool. Come on, HTML, HTML, HTML. Give me some HTML. I want a fancy HTML. Per favore. It's like watching paint dry. Ah. Okay. Proudly type the following text GPT-3. Well, you can tell this is from like 2023 because nobody cares about GPT-3 Turbo anymore. Everybody's using 4.0, 4.1, and all the fancy stuff, and we're using Gemini. So it's pretty cool. next thing I want to showcase is we can extract segments from a video and make it into almost a documentation. And what I'm gonna do is we're gonna change the page. Oh, by the way, we have it. What we're using is a debugger for Momen, and then within this, well, the live preview, right? So within this, we now have a debugger. We can even turn on debugging mode and look at the states of everything on the page. So if you click, once you have debugging mode turned on, you click on anything, instead of interacting with it directly, it's going to call up the properties panel for that particular element, and you can see it has parent and children, right? What if we go up? You can keep going up until you get to the page level. So we're now at the page level. So the parent is the app. Well, within the app, you got global states, so you can actually look at them. And there's a bunch of states in here. The web page name is segmentation. Everything else is undefined because we haven't updated anything, right? The answer is going to be somewhere within custom state. It's going to be in custom state, but at the moment it's completely empty because we haven't uploaded anything. Okay, so let's get rid of that and go back to the normal mode. We'll upload this time this understanding data models. Okay, so we're gonna first just upload that, and what this does is it calls section extractor, puts in the image, the video, and also the YouTube link, and once it's successful, it puts the answer into put into the answer page variable. And the answer page variable is then used in here as a markdown. And our section extractor, this one has a Chinese. I was trying to do that in Chinese as well. But section extractor takes in your video and YouTube link, and the prompt template is fairly simple. Your video analyzer, analyze the video, break it into sections, and summarize each segment. For each section, each section, I should just call it section, just stick with the same wording. For each section, include the beginning timestamp and end timestamp, which is all fine. And I have this conditional thing here. If I have a YouTube link, which is if the string length of the YouTube link input is greater than 0, we say if the link to the YouTube video, blah, appears valid, then for each beginning timestamp, hyperlink into the video, adding the timestamp in seconds to the link's parameter. So that's going to add like a t equals some s. And here we have the formatted output, right? And that's MD formatted output. And I think we should be must be valid markdown. Okay, let's just update that. Actually, I shouldn't be making that change because that will get rid of the state on the front end. But such is life. C'est la vie, c'est la vie. By the way, if anyone watching has any questions, feel free to chat now, or if later, if you're watching the replay, you're more than welcome to ask questions, leaving a comment, and I always check on these comments. Not very promptly, but I do. All right, so let's upload our understanding moment again. And we'll try it in two ways. One without the YouTube link. Then we'll try it with the YouTube link. And then I'll show you a fairly cool trick with the YouTube thing. Because you can click through directly. Also, at the moment, we have no support for directly entering a YouTube link and have Gemini pull that video, but that is going to be supported very soon because that is a fairly useful feature to have. So let's run it and see what it. I should really say introducing, but okay. This one is slightly longer, and that correlates directly with the processing time for Gemini. Um, the typically for, I think I'm using Flash. Yeah, I'm using Flash. And I'm using a very small maximum tokens per round. Not sure. Oh, that actually worked. So here we go. Introduction to data models, accounts. So this is useful, and then you can like take a look, and also it gives you a good structure to write documentations, and it's a good outline. You could, uh, you know, ask Gemini to write more involved content, including having like verbatim extracted transcript, if that's what you want. But that's not very interesting. So instead of doing that, we will Momen HQ. We will be putting in the link to our video. I think that's the somewhere in the login data. I think this is the one. Yeah. Okay, we're just going to copy link address. That's the link address. We'll put it in here and we'll rerun it. And this time, something cool is going to happen. It's going to take a while. It means like, because I told it to include the actual link, hyperlink to the video. Now you can directly click onto the output. Oh, here we go. See? And if I click onto here, refuse to connect. That's probably because I am in. That is weird. Why is that refusing to connect? Probably because it's HTTP or something. Let's see. What did it actually output? We'll first get this to go. We're in segmentation. That's good. What did it do? Huh, that is very odd. But let's try it again. I think it has something to do, and I also open debugging console. I think it has something to do with the fact that we are in a debugging mode or live preview for Momen. So I'm just gonna publish it so we have like a full, like a real environment, and we'll look at here. Oh, I also need to make this the home page, otherwise we'll always end up, because we have no navigation bar, right? Because I was lazy. It doesn't take too long. Should be like 10-15 seconds. Okay, backend is done. Front end should be done soon too. Okay, that's done. I'm gonna refresh. And now we're at segmentation. That's good. So we'll go back to our understanding Momen, and that's our link. In fact, I probably want to have this thing have like a longer maximum tokens, and include both. It must be routed markdown. Okay, cool. And we'll update the backend. the thing is, every time you update the backend, the front end, and you click on the front end, it will get the most up to date stuff. Okay, so hopefully we will see a hyperlink that works this time. It's very odd that doesn't. I'll also make sure that I have debugging console visible. And that's a good habit to have if you are developing or oh, here we go. Nice. Hey, look at that. So now I'm gonna have this open, and instead of clicking, which should directly work, but let's copy link address. Well, actually database basics, copy link address. Oh, here we go. That's where we get the basics. Start with, okay, so that's cool. Now let me see if I can click onto here. It does work. Okay, so it is something that we have to fix in the debugging mode. And if you want it to be even fancier, you could change it here. Make sure the link opens a new tab. Okay, and then if we run that, and this time it wouldn't replace our existing content, because now the existing content is gone and we have to re-upload the video. It's kind of annoying. Break into detailed, structured sections. Yay, that's good. Can update. Doesn't take too long. Does get a bit tedious though. Oh, by the way, the other thing you could watch is the number of AI points we're using, and you can convert that into how much money we're spending per video. So this entire video is 14 minutes, right? So to analyze a 14-minute video, we're going to click on it, and we can look at the actually the simplest thing is if I demonstrate it over here, but we'll do that later. It doesn't cost that much. I think it costs like probably 5 to 7 cents if you do the math. So it's very cheap to run. Obviously, you don't want this to run constantly, but you can use this to help yourself. Uh-oh. Well, unfortunately, sometimes the AI is not very smart. That's, yeah. Yeah, so that's not good, but you have to do some prompt voodoo for it to work. Okay, and then let's try it here and see how much it costs to run the actual thing. We don't have an animation to show that this is uploading yet, but so we are going to fix that. But in the meantime, the way I kind of figured that out is by looking at the upload speed in my activity monitor. All right. We're now looking at 5.6 million AI points. And once we finish running this, we should, I'm going to write out 5628023. It should automatically update. By the way, if anyone watching is having questions, feel free to ask, since we're waiting for the paint to dry anyways. Hey, there we go. And yeah, so that's how much it consumed. So let's do the math. 5.3 minus 5.3 something 5355242. 5355242. That gets us to 27 272 and that means if you buy, this is 6 million, right, for $10. So $10 divided by 6 million multiplied by 2700 270,000. So that's I think we have a miscalculation somewhere. Let me just try it again. Because for Gemini Flash, oh, we have miscalculation here. We're gonna fix this. It's actually 10 times more than it should be. Whoops, sorry. That's a counting error. Yeah, because Flash is way cheaper than Pro. At the moment, we're paying like Pro prices for Flash, but that I'll fix. Okay, cool. And then lastly, what I wanna point out is you can also do a bit of batch processing for this. An example would be you get yourself an action flow, and that would take, for example, an image or like a video, or a video URL really, because you can't directly video URL, and that is going to be maybe just text is fine, right? And with that you can write some custom code and just do like context dot upload media, and I forgot exactly how I write it. Upload media. Okay, so you got the video URL that's coming from the input that's piped in. We are very close to having a AI agent that can help you write custom JavaScript code directly within this. Just doing some final tweaks, and then that's video, and then you can use this video and trigger. Then you upload video. I think you can then get an output. We get a we will get a video ID of some sort. I forgot exactly how I should write it. I had to read the docs, but the idea is that you get somebody to send you a URL, you would upload it to Momen, and then you will trigger a some AI, and for example the I don't know, the section extractor that will get you the actual string, and then you have a table, then you can input it like, you know, extracted section or something, and then you can put it in here, and you don't have to trigger all the AI workflows from the front end. It could be triggered programmatically via an API. And other nice things that you could do is, since we do support structured output for all the agents within the action flow, you can do a conditional based on, oops, that's not what I want. Let's see if I had like, we had a structured multimodal QA, right? So you can do a conditional saying like, okay, if the it's answerable, then do something like update data, right? Best change the name, so answerable. And this one is like multi-model QA, so that we can tell what is what, right? And then that is you can combine all this into a workflow that's like a hybrid between AI and more rigid forms of automation. Very similar to what people do with N8N. Um, the only difference is that data fetching and API calling and other agents calling other agents is already configured for you, and also you can set up um, payment and directly monetize your service. This could entirely be like one of the simple ways of doing that is you could add a field called credit, and then you set the credit to an integer, and we're just going to update that. And then you have a permission saying that you can only run the AI, for example, the multi-model QA, right? You can only run the AI if your credit is greater than 0. And then every time you run this multi-model QA, you can ask add an action flow. We don't have any, but you can add an action flow that just subtracts the credit. So that should be fairly simple to do. I can just show that, like reduce credit. Okay, so we added in here. It's synchronous. It takes called account ID, and that's just gonna be big int. And we just we just update data, and we're gonna reduce the credit by 1, having its ID equal to the account ID. Okay, that's all we need to do. Save it, go to the AI and add it in. And cool. And then here, we probably should, the current account ID is logged in user's ID. And always call reduce credit before returning the result. And that's all you need to do to always reduce the person's credit by 1 when it is the AI flow is invoked. And on the front end, because of the permission setting, if you don't have enough credit, you will we can actually, where we set it in what I just showcased that. We set it in multi-model QA, right? So let's go to QA, multi-model QA, and I'm gonna create a new user, and the new user will have probably 0 credit, and it probably wouldn't run. Credit is empty, right? So in this case, if I try to run it, I'll close this one. If I try to run it, in fact, I don't need to upload anything. It directly fails. Nothing happens, but we can make sure that we see the response by action failed. We'll do a toast. Yeah. Oops. Clicked on the wrong thing. Can't invoke, or no permission. Okay, so let's run it again. You should see, you just get, where's my toast? QA, this is QA. Ah, that is odd. Well, that's probably an issue that I have to fix. I have to figure out a way exactly what went wrong. But that's the idea. But if I get rid of that permission setting, then obviously Hold on. I got rid of it. Damn it. Credit is greater than 0. Okay. And okay, so we'll update and we'll try it again. I have a permission here and I won't enter anything. Actually, yeah, no permission. So now you now get an error. And if I set the accounts credit to something like 3, right? Then in here, I'm gonna give it something really small, Safari small, like how many people. Oh, I have clearly messed up something. So, yeah, I have clearly custom. Okay, so 400 invalid JSON payload. Oh, that's because my I've never tested this. Okay, I just completely messed it up. This doesn't entirely work. Not sure what is wrong, but something's wrong. Anyway, that's common with these live streams if I don't test them out. And the gist of this live stream is that you can combine different modalities and use Gemini as your model and both automate and do batch processing of videos or images, and it's quite cheap. So if there's no further questions, we're about time and we shall say goodbye. All right. Thank you very much. Bye.